wanted to just show everyone how we dig our fruit trees out, because we get a lot of orders in the middle of the year, and we'll go ahead and dig the trees and either deliver them or bring them to the markets to sell. It's a fairly extensive process getting a tree safely out of the ground, so I just wanted to show that process so that people understood it a little bit better. We have to wait until we have to water all the trees, and we have to wait until the soil moisture is just right for us to go ahead and dig them out. So here you'll get to see that. We'll go ahead and dig them out so that they're the correct width for the container that we have available. And you can see the soil moisture has to be such that it'll hold together. But if it's too dry, it'll fall apart, and if it's too wet, it'll fall apart. And if you're not gentle with the shovel, it'll also fall apart, and that will greatly decrease the likelihood that the tree is going to do well. So we have to really carefully dig them out. So this is obviously sped up, and then we're also skipping portions. It takes quite a while while we're working around this, to work around that so that it comes loose without coming apart. And then we have to cut the roots that are underneath. The nice thing about doing it this way, though, is that the trees are not root bound at all, which is a huge benefit when you first are planting them, because the roots they'll just go straight out from where they are in the container, as opposed to continuing to go in the shape of the container. We recycle our pots that we get them from other local nurseries that order in trees from other places, and we just go ahead and use a grinder and cut along both sides of the pot, and then we'll go ahead and put the tree in there. That makes it so we can open it up so it's easier to set the tree down in there, but it also makes it a lot easier to get the tree back out. We could still drop it down in there, but it'd be a big pain in the butt to get it out if it wasn't cut on either side. They're very heavy if they're in the native soil. But we found that this is a lot better than doing the burlap, just for the average gardener, because the burlap doesn't really break down very well, and it's also more difficult to transport. So if you leave it in this container, you don't have to worry about it drying out if you can't plant it right away. But it also is pretty easy to go ahead and just open it and then get a buddy and lift it out as one single piece, which is best for the tree. And then what we go ahead and do is we just use duct tape and tape along the sides so that the water doesn't come out of the sides. And then when you're ready to plant, you just pull the duct tape off, and it's ready to go in the ground. And then just make sure that you water them really well when you put them in. And we also recommend putting fertilizer in the bottom of the hole. Make sure to add 50% compost to your soil that you're using to fill in around it, and then mulch along the top. We don't usually recommend staking trees, because we don't grow trees that are large enough to be too top heavy, as a general rule. And then I just do that wrap around just so that the container won't pull open from the weight of the soil or the water when you're watering it. And you can just use a box cutter and cut that duct tape too if it's stuck on there real good. And then I just go ahead and fill in around the sides so that it's easier to water, so the water doesn't just run along the sides. And it's real important to water it in real well. If you keep this for a while just in the container like that, it's easy to overwater them on accident, but it's also easy to underwater them too. So just check, an inch or so down in the soil to make sure it's staying damp. We transport ours in a covered trailer, which I would strongly recommend if you're transporting trees for longer than a couple miles just because it's really hard on them to be blown around. If you're interested in ordering trees from us, please go ahead and get a hold of us and we can make an appointment to come check out the tree yard.